to the person that I know that I am and that I know that I can be? How long will it take? Trust and believe me, I've asked the same questions.
From there, you were able to look at it and you were able to identify what's going on inside of you. We must do our own work.
It takes a lot of motivation, determination to be the person that you want to be.
When you come into Vibe Talk, I'm not some guru that's going to figure out what is wrong with you. You learn the technique of finding out why you hurt. And I'm so glad to announce, after all of our hard work, Trish and I are so happy to present to you the Healing Center, a place where you feel safe, a place where your family can come, a place where you can get into groups and learn to work on you, yourself, and you. Happy anniversary to Vibe Talk. 5 years and still connecting. Doors are always open and they always have been open. Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast.
Well, good morning and welcome. Welcome to our Wellness Wednesday, or Wednesday Wellness. Today is working on your wellness. How are you guys doing with that? We want you to understand that your wellness is everything. But might I add, is it everything that you expect it to be? Our wellness, our being able to adjust ourselves where we're feeling like we're better than we were yesterday. I say that with deep gratitude because I think about, and I keep thinking about those who have lost everything materially, that is. They are sound in body and in mind and are left stripped of everything that they have had or have achieved for years. Think about this. The healing that they will have to do, the healing that they will have to overcome. Because you see, it is all about rebuilding. What does life look like when you rebuild something? If you've ever had something destroyed, then you know that feeling all too well. Good morning, Trish. Good morning.
Good morning.
And I want us to be able to draw some type of appreciation for our wellness. How are we practicing to attain a better outcome on our well-being? And I'll say it, quote, end quote, are you just surviving or are you thriving? Which one are you really doing when you think about it? Now, for those of you who wake up in your world, because truly when we get up, it is our world. It's what we do morning after morning, night after night. Imagine, if you will, you're having something that creates for you something that will delay your thriving. See, despite what my loved ones have lost and people I don't know have lost, their mental health is still intact. Maybe they're not feeling like getting up or waking up. Maybe they haven't been shook of the reality of what has just happened in the Southern California fires. I bring this to you today for you to feel more grateful. I bring this to you today for you to feel more purposeful. Life is full of complaints. You know, when I wake up in the morning, we don't know what we're going to face. Do you think if those people knew that they were going to be faced with fire destruction, that they would have even thought to leave their home? One man said this as the news anchor asked him, "Why haven't you left?" "Oh," he says, "I'm going to stick around. I'm going to stick around as if things were going to get better." The sound of evacuation is all but something we want to do. Thinking about your world and you're waking up and you're being able to live in your homes, wherever it is that you live, even if you're renting a room, even if you're on ground level and you have a roof over your head. The attitudes of many people were, we got out with our very lives. Now think about the mental wellness. You're being able to thrive. Because now they're going to thrive for those who are going to be determined to rebuild. Maybe you're not going to rebuild in the same place. Maybe you're going to find a new location, but you're going to rebuild. And things are going to change. Things are going to look different because the house that you lived in before is not the house that you'll live in now. You know, some people say, well, what is home? Some people are from broken homes. Some people are from homes that were never called their own, whatever be that case. Home is what you have made of it. Why do I say that? Because a literal house can be destroyed, but all your memories, as one lady said, the memories. One man lost his father's ashes that he had been keeping. A house is filled with memory, but a home, one that you've established for memories, parties, celebrations, sorrows, achievement. Wow, so much has happened. But the mental mindness of the wellness of the people, having good attitude, great spirit, knowing that they must go on. And if we can put ourselves for one moment, we talked about this last week, in their shoes as you sit in your home. Home is different from a house. You know, everyone says, I have a place to call home. I want you all to think about that. Look around your home. And by the way, today's assignment is, and I really thought about this on yesterday's radio I was listening to something. Do it now before it's too late. Walk around your home and take a picture of every room in your home. One is because it's going to help you in your insurance claims, whatever you're doing right now, to be able to take advantage of programs, because there are programs out there. Housing Authority has a program. If you're on Housing Authority and you've been affected by the fires, call them. Okay, their Alhambra office. And that number is, I have it here. These are good things to remind us of. I will find it in just a minute. Yes. 626 262 4510. If you have been affected and you are on Section 8 programs, HUD programs, please call that number. Once again, and Tricia, if you can put that down, 626 262 4510. If you are on Housing Authority, if you're on Section 8, HUD, please call that number, because they're going to help as many people as they can. We like to give you information. When we think of home, our memories are there. So today I want you to be more grateful, be more thankful of your home. What is home to you? When you think of home, I want you to walk around, be reflective. If you've got a family room, take a picture of that family room. If you've got a dining room set in your room, think about where you eat. Think about where you sleep. Think about a playroom. Whatever you do to make it home, because one day your home may not be standing on its foundation. Sometimes we don't think about that. We just love to pull up to our places of residency. I need you to be grateful and reflective today. We all struggle, right? Every last one of us struggles with something or another. But nobody thinks, wow, one day my home is not going to be here. You know, we live in our world. I live in my world. You live in your world. My amazing co-host Trish lives in her world. But today we're going to place ourselves in your world and be more grateful. Taking the pictures are memories. You know, for the fighting families, mine, yours, and ours. Think about the last gathering you've had. Some of you are going to say, well, it was Christmas or Thanksgiving or a birthday. But life goes on beyond all of that. As you leap into a new year, think about that. 2025, for all the people that have suffered and are still suffering, and it's only the beginning of 2025. No one could have fluffed that up. But here's the point. I so appreciate the mindset of every person, even though some broke down, and naturally so, feeling that feeling of sadness and loss, and then experiencing the emotion due to what just happened. So we need to think about, where are they going to go from here? In the midst of seeing about family, friends, and loved ones, I got responses. And I'm so grateful for the attitudes. And I'll read in part what someone wrote me just last night. And I'm going to read it because their home is devastated. And that's an understatement. And I want to share this because I want you to think about your mental health. They say, thank you. God bless you for checking on us. Just mentally and physically exhausted. And they follow this up with, but we're alive and prayerful. So I can't ask for much more than that at this point. Clear the word. Can't ask for anything more than that. Just being alive, just being able to fix your mind to say, this is not going to kill me. Can I tell you something about the person that wrote this to me? That wasn't the first rodeo. Their home had been on fire before, but not to the level of just gone. I hope that this is hard hitting and that you understand about Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast and healing center, that we are there for the people that need just that healing. Sometimes to talk about it, sometimes to think about their memories. So the best thing to do is let them talk. Because some of these houses that we know and love, we have shared memories with them. We've laughed, we've talked, we've went to dinner. Our hearts are with you. No matter what is said, that's what I keep thinking. My apartment is still on its foundation. I get up and I say, I really don't like this dumb place. And I really wish I lived somewhere else. I hate coming here. Do I sound anything but grateful? So it makes me rethink my mentality. Because some people would be very grateful just to live under this roof. Being displaced, not knowing where you're going to live, what you're going to do. And that's why we make the announcements. Trish and myself make these announcements so that you get it and you say, wow, Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast really does work on people's feelings, their emotions. We get you the help. And we want you to know that we live in a place where we are aware. And if you're not aware of it, I want you to be more aware of things. Be grateful. Maybe you don't have the funds to help people. Anything helps. Seeing people get together. I was at the store the other day, and the people said we wanted to take waters to the firefighters. I'm so thankful for them. So when you think about the losses, because many cars had to be moved that were parked in order to get to the fires, don't be upset. Be grateful that those firefighters stood on battle lines to get fires out. Don't be upset if your house didn't make it, but the neighbor next door, their house is standing, because I know how that can be, because we say, why me? This fire was not picking on anyone. People had to literally run for their lives, worrying about pets and important papers. And that's a thing too. While we got you all here, think about your important papers. Documents, housing documents, driver's license, whatever you guys have. Make sure that they are in a fireproof box. When I was a kid, my mother always kept this metal box that had important papers, because you will need to know where those papers are. Please get one. Don't wait till it happens. Start looking for things. Emergency kits. Emergency kits. If we don't have one, let's start getting one. If you don't have a lot of money, go to the dollar store. These kind of stores that you're not going to pay a lot of money, but you have something. And 5 days of food, non-perishable. Water. Let's do this before something else happens, because you know that something else that will happen, it's going to happen. Life is full of uncertainty. No one thought that 2025 was going to do this, but we are living in what the Bible says are the last days. So we're going to see a lot more for all of you who are like myself and Trish, who really read the Bible and know what it's talking about. It's got some practical value because it's reading the headlines. Every day I wake up, I'm troubled. I don't know what it's like to have a foundation burned off of its axis. Foundation gone. People having to go through ashes. Nothing left. As if life was not presenting itself. We're going back to the mentality of all the people, because you know what they're doing? They're helping other people. They're not moaning and complaining, my house is gone. They are helping their neighbor strong. I don't know if any of you saw those images. They were rushing to help their neighbors. One older man couldn't walk. They picked him up. Now, can you imagine? The street is on fire, but they're rescuing this disabled man. One father actually perished during the fires while trying to get his disabled son out. I don't know if you guys have been listening to this. How is it impacting your mental health? Do you just go about your day and say, glad it's not us? Or do you think, wow? Because that's where I'm thinking, wow, what can I do to help them? I don't care if I'm living in a one-bedroom house. If people need to come and find a place on the floor. I just told my cousin this yesterday. Please come. Wanted to know if they're safe. But most of all, ladies and gentlemen, I thought of their mental well-being. Attitudes. Every person that I've talked to. Want to read some more? One, my cousin wrote that, and he said, I'm going to read it just right now. Because I want you to think about it. As I told my younger son today to fix his attitude. Because the problems that you think you have right now, you have them. But think about what they have right now. What they don't have right now. Here is what my cousin said. Yes, I'm safe. They're not letting anyone up there, which was Altadena, California. I have things I need, he says. My place is still standing, and I'm grateful for that. Thanks for hitting me up. Much appreciated. Check on your loved ones. The attitudes of the people is mind-boggling. Why do I say that? Because everything that I've read to you has been in a positive. They're hurting. They're going to need healing. They're going to need something to help them get through. Because we think about building materially, but what about the mind state? I can't imagine having someone's ashes in an urn and the whole house burns down, including the urn of ashes. That's someone you love. These people, they are well in mind. In a figurative sense and in a real literal sense. Why? It's because if something like that happened to me, how would we deal with that? And many of you say, well, I don't know. It hasn't happened to me. And guess what? You better think about being more grateful. This list goes on and on and on. And by the way, Trish, thank you for checking in with me. We want to reflect on what wellness is and what wellness is not. Yes, you cried tears. That's normal. Yes, you've been angry. But you are by no means defeated because You know what a man said? As he looked at his house burning down. 30 years, he said, but we're going to rebuild. You see the attitude? They're thinking what to do next, staying in their mental power to be able to assimilate what just happened. You know that thing when you say, what just happened here? They have to think about and react. Did you hear what I said? Come a little closer. Think about and react. Because when you think about something, what is your reaction to it? How they chose to react, even though they were healing, or excuse me, they were going through tragedy because it isn't over. They chose to react in a positive manner. Boy, our hearts are hurting for them. So if you think that you've got one problem or 29 problems, they've got this one big one. Have we thought about it? Does your heart not yearn to help them? I have a two-bedroom apartment, and I wish that I could house everyone. They didn't ask for that. The fire by no means decided that it wanted to choose your house or their house. Those are the things that life says are unforeseen. We don't know that they're going to happen, but do we prepare our minds and our hearts for if it should happen? So if any of you are materialistic out there, I want to tell you something. You like cars, there's nothing wrong with that. You like fine houses, great food, there's nothing wrong with that. But how is your mental wellness? What is your attitude? Are you more worried about the material loss than you are about your loved ones? Just of last night, they're looking for an elderly woman, have not found her yet. But they're still. See, we bring you the healing process, and I hope that anyone who has been touched by the fire, indirectly, if you've been touched through a loved one, a friend, someone that you know, I want them to hear this because their positive, well-meaning attitude during their loss has brought to myself positive mindset, positive energy. Now, some of our loved ones may not want to talk, and that's okay. That's so understandable. We're not mad at them. We hurt with them. Today is a good day to send them a heart or a hug to let them know we're thinking of them. And by the way, don't ask them what they need. Whatever it is that you can do, just do it. Because when you ask them what they need, they got to now be stressed with that. Whatever you think they need. If it's a food card, if it's a food certificate, every little bit helps. Please. Because they're going to rebuild for very, very long time. Some people built their homes with their very hands. Imagine that. But I want to give you some hope today for wellness because today is Wednesday Wellness. I want to give you hope that your memory is not lost. You remember what I said about living in a house versus a home? You made memories. The times you got up and cooked breakfast, the times where you've laughed at the breakfast table. Whatever you've done, you have memories. Hold on to memories. I was thinking about that the other day, and that's why I said today's assignment will be just taking pictures of every room in your house for two things. One, for insurance purposes or any insurance claim, and two, because it's going to help you mentally to collect your thoughts and think about that time. And even if you're not there yet and you're not laughing about all the good times, one day you will look back and you will say, remember when? How many of us say that? You ever say that, Trish?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, remember when? My mother and I, we were just talking about it the other day, about remember this and remember that. Why is that good for the mind? Because the memory of a loss, you can't get that back. But the memories, the brain, I want to tell you about the power of the brain. We talk about that all the time. Fill your brain. Your brain is much more top notch than any Apple product that ever could be existed. You are top notch because your brain remembers and computes. Sure, there's some sad time, and this is a devastating time. But I want you to be able to recall in your memories all the fun times. You're hurting right now. We are thinking of you. We're hurting. I'm hurting. But we want you to go back in your mind and we want you to think about all the memories that you've made because now you're going to collect all those memories and nothing can take that away. Some of you were born in the houses that you have now lost. You've had your children, firstborn children there. Take those memories with you and hug them tightly, embrace them, because you are not devastation. Although your house might be devastated, you are not devastated. And how do I know that? Just by the response that you have given to me personally. You're appreciative. You're thankful. You survived it. You're grateful. You're full of thank yous. And you're able to write back and express your emotions and how you felt. You never said, I'm just so beyond myself. You took that time. One of my closest friends grew up in the house that is now devastated. I remember when I was 6 years old going to that house, visiting her. I was 6, and I met her when I was 6 years old. But I met her, and we have been friends ever since. We all used to go to her house. I was a little girl. That house is no longer in existence. There are many memories in that house as that person has grown up there. House just gone. She says, "Hi, honey." This is what she says to me. And I so appreciate it. I'm going to find it. Excuse me while I do. There's been so many messages. He says, "Hey, honey." When I say, "Hey, just seeing if you're okay. A lot of fires up there. Text me, call me to let me know that you guys are okay. Love you." She texts me back, "Hey, honey, we lost our home, but we have our mindset. Are you welling that?" After this, what do you have to say? You may be facing your problem, your issues, because they're your problems, your issues. But this should help you to get well, stay well, and continue to be well. Get well soon as you think about wellness and what it is. I don't think there's a better podcast that explains wellness, but the actual seeing the mindsets of the people. It hasn't happened to me, but I feel like it's happening to me because these are loved ones. These are people I don't know. We're going to be right back for right after this brief session. Be right back. We are back. It's Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast, and today we are talking about being well, getting well, and staying well. Now it's time for Trish's turn here. Trish?
I admire the mindset of these survivors during this situation, and it just inspires me because just looking at I watch the news, and for those of you who don't watch the news because you don't like how negative it is, I feel you because I feel that way as well. But I watch the news. I've been watching the news all week, and just seeing that, I just wonder, how would I react if this happened to me? And sometimes I wonder, can I even imagine this happening? And the thing is, you can't. You don't see it coming. And that's why it's important to be prepared and to understand, yes, we have a physical foundation with our homes and the businesses we build in the locations that we're in and our churches, but there are other foundations that we should have as well, which is the mental foundation and emotional foundation. And having those keeps you going. It helps you continue to move forward. What do I mean by mental foundation? That means your mindset. What does your mind take you to after you don't have that foundation anymore? What is your looking glass seeing? Meaning, what is your point of view of all this? And I admire that people have said these stories. People have said that at least we're living. At least my family is safe. And that's something that shows an emotional foundation and mental foundation, meaning they're connected to their family and they're connected to their survival. And that's a great foundation in being well and continuing to have a strong mentality. And I live in South Carolina, so we have a lot of tropical storms and things. And I remember I was 14 years old. We had a very bad ice storm. Like, it was very bad. It was a life or death situation for us. And we were in our home and we tried to call for help. And the person that was on the other end of the phone, they were like, "Why are you calling repetitive like that? Like, why do you keep calling?" And I was wondering, does this person care? Like, why is he working if he has this mindset, if he thinks of people like that when they call for help? And it just made me realize that if nobody else cares about you, you have to care about you. You have to care about your safety, because we can always depend on other people, but sometimes, most of the time, sometimes those people can't be there, and you have to fend for yourself and see what you must do. And I hope that these stories that you guys are hearing and the news that you are watching, I hope it motivates you to show gratitude for what you do have. And it motivates you to feel for other people, to understand other people. And it wakes you up from your world a little bit. And you understand, okay, it's not me, but it is somebody else's world, and I do care about them. I hope that instills that mindset within you. And for those of you who are survivors and who are surviving this situation, I know you didn't ask to be an example of courageousness, but you are. And you are an inspiration to many people to cherish your lives over materialistic things and to cherish your well-being. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. That was from Trish's Treasures. We appreciate that. If you want to know more about Trish's Treasures, all you have to do is go to our YouTube page. And thank you for the 50 people that have subscribed. It costs you nothing to subscribe. Go check it out. The Healing Center are for people like you and yours. You don't have to be labeled just to come to the Healing Center. You can just come and walk through, ask questions. We're going to include with our signs that I forgot about what you are seeing, which is our QR codes. Totally forgot about that. That's why I made one. Healing Center will be open for walkthrough today. And if you think that you will benefit from it, please Don't limit yourself. And you can come by appointment. It's open today. I want to thank those of us, those of ones who have reached out. I want to thank those firefighters who came down from all over. Yesterday, there was some firefighters that were in Palmdale, California, where I live, that were up here. We thank you for risking your lives. Please take heed to your wellness, because really, as Trish said, the survivors, they welled us. They didn't know that they were going to be examples. But thank you, because every morning I get up, I'm more grateful. Every morning that I get up, I train my mindset to think about others, think about someone who is really in a challenge. And we say to you, it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel like it's devastating. But believe me, when you start to rebuild from here outwardly, you are going to be someone's survival kit. We love you. We say thank you. Our hearts are with you. You're in our prayers and our thoughts. And one last thing, for those of you in the LA area, Pasadena Civic is where you could go to. Pasadena Civic Center, I believe, is the one that is going to be able to help too. In fact, they have said, and I quote, there is so much. One celebrity had to come home with their stuff. Jennifer Lewis. I love Jennifer Lewis. In case you don't know who that is, in the movie What's Love Got to Do with It, she was Tina Turner's mother. Jennifer Lewis. I love her. And Blackish. She's the grandmother on Blackish. And her message was that they have said they're full, and some of the things that they didn't need were like clothes and stuff like that. Toiletries. Everybody needs toiletries. Toothpaste. I can't stand waking up not brushing my teeth. Okay. So tissue, toothpaste, toothbrushes. Pasadena Civic Center. I will give you the number right here, right now, in case you're wondering what could you do. In the 1 minute. Pasadena Civic Center. Chris, can you get it on your end? Because it's not coming through. That's what we mean. Pasadena, can you get it on your end or no?
I can't get it right now.
Pasadena Civic Center. I don't know why it's not coming. No. Let's see. Just hold on, guys. I got you. Let's see. 'Cause we want to make sure that we're passing down information for you. Pasadena Center. Okay. Here, there you go. So, the address is 300 East Green Street, Pasadena, California. Okay. Pasadena Civic Center. You can inquire with them. Animal shelters. You don't want to forget that. Animal shelters are asking, please, if you can, to rehome a pet in those areas. If you feel like getting pets, please go down to those humane society in Pasadena, out to Dena, Pacific Palisades. Um, if you'd like to adopt a pet, because the places are getting full and many of the animals have had to be housed there, and no doubt they're running out. Pasadena, you know, let me give you the number. My mother used to take me when I was a little girl. My mom loves dogs. My mother used to take me on the weekends, and my nieces and my nephews. We would go to the animal uh, shelter just to see the dogs. And if she really liked the dog, my mother would really get the dog. I remember that. Their number 626 792 7151. If you would like to adopt a pet. Okay. Pasadena Humane Society. Okay. Yeah. Call them, they'll give you the information that you need. The number,
Can you say the number one
I
more
was
time?
just getting ready to. The number is, oh my God, 626 792 7151. Adopt a pet. We hope that today has been indeed your Wednesday. We talk about everything here, and we don't leave out those who are suffering, because this is what the Healing Center, this is what Vibe Talk is all about. The Healing Center just helps you to be able to come in, get the appointment, work through the grief. Also, the Healing Center for yours that are out of the area of Palmdale, California, where our actual center is. Just because you live out of the area doesn't mean that you can't be connected, because we're still doing virtual sessions. So if you'd like that, just remember it's your healing center too. You're amazing. And I want to say thank you to our audience. And we're not in this for numbers numbers, likes. We're in it because this is life. So I'd like you to, instead of survive, to thrive. And that's all about our Wednesday wellness. And I thank you. I challenge you to challenge yourself to be a best you, a better you, and yet still the best you that you can be. Thank you for joining our program. We will see you next time right here on Facing the Lion podcast. Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast, where we are streaming.
Yes, I don't want you just to make a resolution. I want you to think about really about the moves and then I got the vibe with it. I really take my time with it. I really love the ride with it. Really got the vibe with it. I took my time with it. I really love the ride with it. You can finally see a better you when you get the vibe with it.